Hey guys, how's it going? Eli here, back with another video where today we're going to be having a conversation about part 3 of our 3-part series in regards to the best way to kind of make money in Pokemon investing. And for this part, we're going to be having a conversation about what it really means to play the reprint waves, and of course my top 5 picks, as well as an honorable mention in regards to the best places to pick up sealed Pokemon product on new set releases. And yeah, just the best way in which you're able to get in at these nice lower level prices. But without further ado, jumping into the video, as always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. We are giving away 8 million star booster packs to 3 separate individuals on top of that as well. We post videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you to comment and like on. So 3 opportunities to enter, 3 opportunities to win. So, but jumping into today's video after we got that part of the way. So what do I mean by playing the waves? This is going to kind of be the main topic. If you haven't seen part 1, part 2, part 1 was kind of giving just the broad overview and perspective, talking about, hey, how it could be a very, very pertinent interest to you guys if you open a kind of side hustle business running under a sole proprietorship. You could be able to generate revenue off of what you're already doing, currently speaking, but use the Pokemon product that you then purchase with the revenue that you've generated off of flipping cards, off of selling sealed, and then reinvesting it. You could use that as potential tax write-off for your business. If I'm correct, it's different in each state more than likely, but as far as I've been informed, as long as you've generated over at least $4,000 in sales, then you are at a point where, all right, well, the government's now going to start recognizing you as a more along the lines of a business. You don't have to be profitable your first year. If you're profitable, if you're negative every single year, then that's a completely different conversation. But the whole point of this is basically just being able to use the current tax codes for those individuals that want to basically continue to grow their Pokemon card collection and not get absolutely punished for flipping a profit when they do decide to sell a lot of their product and then reinvest it in more Pokemon. So this part, as of playing the wave, obviously last video was bulk. Playing the wave and selling sealed is going to be today's topic. So what do I mean by playing the wave? So for those people that don't know, I've talked about this quite a bit, but I haven't really gone in depth. So this is going to be the in-depth topic for what I specifically mean by that. So for most Pokemon sets, you typically have at least a wave 1, 2, and sometimes a wave 3. So for these waves, a lot of the times you'll see different kind of patterns in overall prices. And here we'll actually go through and take a look at a chart. Let's go to Evolving Skies. We can probably see a good kind of indicator on the Evolving Skies chart. But when talking about the waves of the Evolving Skies booster box, for example, if you had first gotten into Evolving Skies right before the set came out, I remember some places were selling the booster boxes for as cheap as $110. Now, for those people, of course, that should have known this, Evolving Skies was going to be one of the most popular sets, if not the best set, in the Pokemon era of Sword and Shield. So you had the opportunity to get the booster box at around $110, $115 on pre-sale level prices, right? So it was a great opportunity for you to basically say, hey, I think that over time, before the reprints happen, you could potentially see this booster box price rise drastically. So obviously the set right before the lead up, it was then of course released on August the 25th, 26th, around this kind of time. You saw an absolute massive lead up to basically the first kind of wave in the release of the set. The booster box price went all the way up to, on TCG Player, 174, and then it continued to climb, hit as high as 190 right before it had its wave 2 reprint. So here's understanding playing the wave. A lot of the times, and you can see this historically speaking, you will have sets that will just perform absolutely atrocious at the very beginning because there's a lot of speculation behind the set, and there's a lot of people that are kind of not really getting into the hype of the set yet until it's really close to release. And so you're able to get a really cheap price for the most part on a lot of these booster boxes right before, I want to say about a month or two before the set's even released. And for me personally, once I know the cards are in the set, I can know whether or not I think this is going to be a potentially amazing, set, especially getting a lot of consensus from you guys. For example, Evolving Skies. I heard a lot of people hyped up Evolving Skies. Brilliant Star, a lot of people hyped up Brilliant Star. Of course, so far we haven't seen that with Astral Radiance. So Astral Radiance is probably going to be one of those sets where when you're talking about playing the wave, I be very much more cautious into it. Of course, we don't know what the character rares are going to be into that, but as far as it goes with some of the older sets, the sentiment has been very high with this. And what's very interesting to see about this as well is we can even take a look at sets such as Chilling Reigns, for example, a set where the booster box is currently sitting at around $93. At one point, right before the set was released, the booster box price on pre-sale was going for, as low as 110, went all the way up to 160, then was released for Wave 1. Wave 2 didn't come out. It waited, went all the way up to 160. Wave 2 finally got announced and was released sometime near the end of September, early October, and then boom, you just see the price absolutely plummet. So, Chilling Reigns, when the set first came out, it did get a decent amount of hype, but the whole point in me telling you guys this is it's more than just sets such as Evolving Skies, it's more than just sets such as Brilliant Star that could potentially have hype. The only time I've seen an instance where the set in and of itself when playing the reprint wave didn't really work out, and you could say it worked out, but really you didn't make an absolute killing off of it like you would have the other set, was Fusion Strike. So Fusion Strike set, the pre-sales for the set in and of itself were already relatively high. I myself was actually selling it for a decent amount, but if you can kind of see, and a decent price, meaning I was selling it for $120, $130, and where this was the market price. And so if you really take a look at the set, it was kind of just a decline all the way through and through. And the reason for that was because the Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3 all came out relatively back to back to back. So that was kind of where, and this really just comes at the point of, the Pokemon Company came out with just a large amount of reprints all at once. And so that's where Fusion Strike was kind of like a little bit of that outlier. There was some places like myself, of course, like I said before, I was selling Fusion Strike for around $120. If you wanted to, you could go flip that around and try and make a pre-sale price on that, but it's really hard to do that unless you're trying to, make pre-sale orders after ordering, pre-sale and then selling, before you yourself have received the product, because the set in and of itself, that didn't even come out till around the 12th, I want to say. And by at that point, the price was below that. So like I said before, unless you're literally pre-selling the pre-sale product that you bought, then it can be a little bit sketchy kind of doing it that way. Because there's, some like, there's just some, how do I want to say this? The questionability to the methods of, I'm, giving you a more expensive price of a pre-sale product, I'm guaranteed. Some people do that, and that's definitely a possibility. I know a lot of people that will purchase from me, and they will do breaks, and they will buy a lot of my product at a discounted price because they're buying so much of it, and then they themselves are guaranteed to get it because they know that I myself have X amount from a distributor. So it's definitely possible for you to do something like that. But as far as it goes, it's always the safest bet to know right before the set is typically released. I mean, you take, of course, once again, set like Brilliant Star, taking a look at kind of how the wave of Brilliant Star happened, had super high pre-release price, absolutely plummeted. At one point you could get it for 105, 110. And if you got in at 105, 110, and then right before the lead up and right after it was initially released, you were still able to make anywhere between, $20, $30, $40 a booster box, factoring into not factoring in fees, of course. So if you factor it in more along the lines of 20 a booster box, if you are not factoring in, then anywhere between 30 to 40, of course. It differs on the price in which you're able to sell it for. And if you do, like I said, sell it at certain pre-sale prices as high as like 170. So, and then of course, as it stands right now, we did see on some sites it go down to, I was, preaching about it for the longest time with Game Nerds. They were selling it for around 115. I said, if you want to get in at 115, I'm not going to blame you for it. I think they have it up for 120 right now. And, these are going for around 144. So Typically speaking, if you were to get in for 115 and you're saying 144 right now, that's about almost a $30 difference. Even after accounting for fees, with TCG Player, as long as you're selling more than one, typically speaking, you're still going to be able to walk away with a profit. But if you're able to get in at that 105, 110 price point, that's where you're really securing your profits, especially if you're able to sell it at a higher price point. So being able to, of course, play the waves, and the prices I'm going off of right now are predominantly for people that don't have access to distributors. Of course, if you have access to a distributor, this is a completely different story, because you already know what's happening for wave 1, you already know what's happening for wave 2, and being able to pre-sell your wave 2 product literally right before the crash comes, because it's about to come hard and fast. Sorry, that sounded wrong. Then that's something where you're going to be able to, not be left holding the bag. And for those people that listen to my, channel, and you guys understand when I announce the wave 1s and wave 2s, then you guys will also be very self-aware and understanding, hey, I got these prices on pre-orders at 105, 110. I know this is going to be a super hyped up set. Price starts to build a lot of hype. All of a sudden, boom, you're playing the waves. That's kind of a big way to be able to flip money on booster box product in a very short to medium term. So personally speaking, I think this is a really, really good strategy, especially if you're able to access, wholesale level prices. You can always reach out to certain sites. Like myself, I offer cheaper prices if you do buy a large quantity. Specifically speaking, there have been times where people will say they'll pay for shipping, which is even a greater incentive, and I'll sell booster boxes for as low as $100, depending upon, of course, the set, and, of course, more desirable 110, 120. But if they're going for, 150, 160, then your mind, you're still making a killing on the back end. So being able to kind of go through and look at ways to get the booster boxes at a lot cheaper of a product price is really important. Now the next question is, well, Eli, what about once wave 2 hits and once wave 3 hits? So it's a little bit different of a story. I would say once it hits that kind of wave 2 and wave 2 is about to happen, that's going to be your point to offload. That's where you're going to typically want to walk away. And if you want to as well, and you don't want to play the wave 2 wait, and you just want to see where the kind of market sees, you can also, offload a little bit right before the set drops or once the set drops, and then you sell 50%. And if you wait and see that the price of the booster boxes are going to go up more, then you can always, of course, decide to sell the rest then right before the wave 2 reprint happens. Obviously with Evolving Skies, as we mentioned before, the price was climbing up right before the set release. It dipped just a slight amount after hitting 180, and then continue to climb to 190, right? So you were able to still walk away with a decent amount of product. I mean, once the release of the actual week goes about 175, so that's an extra $15 plus if you had just waited just a week or two, and then of course the reprint then happened shortly after. And then once those reprints happen, of course, with Evolving Skies, reprint brought the price down to 115. Then it went up all the way up to 130, got its second reprint, went as low as $100 on some sites, and then has been climbing since. So for me, personally speaking, you have either two ways of looking at it. You can either double down and you can say, hey, I'm selling everything, right before wave 2, or I'm selling 50% off the initial release, and then I'm selling the other 50% wave 2, whichever strategies you prefer. Obviously, one is more kind of protecting your profit in case you don't want to be left holding the bag in case the set hype starts to die out right before wave 2. That typically doesn't happen, even for a set like Battle Styles, which absolutely bombed. The set release for the pre-sales was upwards of 150, and then it went all the way down to, I think, 130, I think was the cheapest I saw it going for. So, and that's Battle Styles. And then of course when wave 2 happened, then the prices of the booster box dropped all the way down to sub $100. So you really don't have to be scared, I would say, typically speaking, from what we've seen historically, until that wave 2 really drops. So I don't think we can really come with an instance of looking at it. I mean, obviously going back, looking at Chilling Reign over the year of it, set came out obviously in June 12th, June 15th, around that June time. Obviously, it just kept climbing, reprint, dump. You can take a look at, see if we can see that with Battle Styles. I don't think we're going to be able to see it, but we might as well check and see with an instance of Battle Styles. The reason why I say we might not be able to see is because the set came out in March. So it's been quite a bit of a while if we're going to be able to see the history of when the booster box price to get up to that point. Yeah, the history is not going to be able to go far that back. Let's take a look at Pokedata.io. and see if they have any price history for sealed product battle styles. Let's take a look. Let's see, Battle Styles Booster Box. So if we take a look right here on the Battle Styles Booster Box prices, is it going to make me log in to be able to look at the information? I think it might. Hold on one quick second, guys. Sorry for the delay on this. I'm going to quickly log in so that we can take a look at the information for Battle Styles. All right, now we're going to be able to look at it. As you guys can see, the overall history for the Battle Style set, going back to it, yep, prices were all the way up to $150 right before the pre-sale price. Obviously, this is, you know, if you add during the time, and please take this into consideration as well, there's a lot higher demand, so you couldn't play the waves like you can now, but just still we're looking at Battle Styles just so we can use an example of right before the waves happened, because I still think this applies. Of course, we weren't able to get into those cheaper prices, but you know, the set came out. You saw the price of the overall booster box hang around $140. And then, of course, it does get that reprint. Then it goes all the way down. So it didn't even go as low as $120. It literally still sat around after the set was released. And it was selling for around that $140 price point. A set like Battle Styles, guys, gets the reprint. You see it plummet. It did kind of hang around that. So maybe here is an argument, because shortly after, this is when Wave 2 came out. So it looks like it did go around to that $115, $120. So even after the Wave 2 print, it wasn't until Wave 3 where you really start the price go down, and then of course up it started to regain value. So even like a set such as Battle Styles is going to gain value all the time. And what do you know, they came out with a 4th print for Battle Styles, and that's where it really started to go down. So that even goes to show you during the time how much of a demand there was for Pokemon products, because even after Wave 2, it dropping from 140 all the way down to, you know, that 115 price point is a low. I think some places 120. You were still looking at a strength of it, but I still personally, once again, going back to it, am more about the, hey, we're waiting to sell right before the Wave 2 print. So, because that's something that's going to be, of course, very important in my personal opinion. So, yeah, just going back to playing the waves and understanding that there is a lot of money to be made, especially now, because before, pre-order prices were just skyrocketing for sets. And now, of course, it's the exact opposite. A lot of speculation behind sets. And then if you're able to know if the set's going to do well or not, even, of course, looking at sets such as Battle Styles, Chilling Reigns, you're able to get in at a lot cheaper these prices. Even sets such as Evolving Skies, which you would say to yourself, why is Evolving Skies, you're able to get it for so cheap? But the same thing happened with Brilliant Stars, so history just keeps repeating itself. So being able to now go to sites that you're able to access these booster boxes at a cheap price is really the next point that we're going to be talking about. So I want to get that honorable mention out of the way, because of course I have to do it without any sort of bias, but of course I would be, what else of a shill would I be without advertising for our site PokemartUSA. Of course, a lot of the times we do like to offer really cheap booster box prices. That's why typically we sell out the day of, within, you know, a couple of days afterwards, because our prices, you know, literally what I tend to do is I look at the market price and I say 20% lower than that. And a lot of prices are either at we're selling it for or cheaper than that. So it's really hard to compete with our prices. So of course, if you are on our Discord, you know, always make a ping on what the prices are. If you like them, great. If you don't, then there's going to be 5 other places that I'm going to be mentioning. So I'm not completely shilling for myself, but always got to be mentioning our site, because I'm still a business baby, but hashtag shameless. But the places we're going to be mentioning out, Game Nerds, I had already mentioned them not that long ago. So Game Nerds has Chilling Reigns booster boxes that they're able to purchase. You can get it for around $89.97 right now. I think you can get a discount if you do purchase more. I could be 100% wrong on this. I did see it said a bulk option. Bulk discount, yeah. So if you do buy more, you can potentially get a bulk discount. Here, let's take a look and see if it does show that as offering it when we add it to cart. Doesn't look like it shows, but I don't know what the exact bulk discount is, but I know some places do offer bulk discounts. We're going to go and show another place. Beckett Castle, shout out to them. I actually found out about them through a kind of a TCG Deals Instagram seller. They advertise and show for Beckett all the time, and Beckett offers Beckett Castle. I'm literally just doing free advertising for these people. So And these guys offer incredible prices. Like, I mean, I remember when the prices for the Darkness Ablaze booster box, they were going for, you know, around $50 at the time, $60, and they were selling them for $33. I was like, that's absolutely insane. Of course, they sell it out relatively fast. I think it took them a couple of days, but a couple of days for $33, like, that's insane. Like, at that point, you'd be able to resell the ETBs for that price point. So I think it's absolutely insane, and I want to give a shout out to them for offering such great prices. Pokemon Safari Zone collectible. It's been a while since I've seen a good deal from them, but I remember for a lot of people who've been buying from Safari Zone forever, they were offering really good discounted prices on booster boxes where you're literally buying them below what I personally was buying them for wholesale. I remember there was times where they were offering Evolving Skies, Chilling Reign for now $90 back when the booster box prices were going for $130, $140. Of course, they'd sell out in minutes at those prices, but it was insane some of the deals you could find here. So obviously you look right now, you're saying these prices are not as good, but a lot of the times when you're seeing these kind of discounted prices, it's right before the set, of course, is announced. Or I shouldn't say announced, but like the cards themselves are shown. So it's right after that, not before. So being able to take advantage of this, because once the set's released, then they're going to start raising their overall prices, kind of like what I do. Typically, I'll, depending upon the set, sell booster boxes for $110, $120, $100, depending upon how the demand for the set's going to be. And then, of course, you know, as the set becomes more and more, you know, time goes on, then I'm going to increase my prices after I gave my initial wave 1 sales. So Safari Zone has been pretty good at doing that. So those are my top 3 picks so far. My next pick, and this is going to come as a surprise, but eBay. I mean, eBay has been known to have some great prices. I don't know how they're able to do it, if there's some form of a structuring in which people are selling it, but you can get, you know, Sword and Shield Chilling Reign booster boxes. I mean, if you want to take a look and see if this is legit or not, this guy's on Troll and Toad store selling it for $82.59. And not that long ago, I saw literally within like a week ago, a lot of these prices were for around the $82 price point. Don't trust Troll and Toad, which has so many reviews. Get it for $89, $88, and that's cheaper than places such as Safari Zone, which is selling it for $92, places such as Game Nerds, which is selling it for $90. So that craziest thing is eBay a lot of the times has really good prices on product. Of course, it's not 100%, but this is why we have 5 picks, because you're always able to go through and browse these kind of main 5 sites, of course mine as well, but like I said, wouldn't be without bias. So those are kind of going to be the main 5. And the last 5th one that we're going to be talking about, and this is, you know, probably going to be the least, in my personal opinion, of the picks, but it's going to be TCG Player. TCG Player sometimes will have good opportunities to buy booster boxes at great prices. Obviously, if we're talking about a set such as Battle Styles, we can take a look at the overall price of the Battle Styles booster box. You take a look at its overall low that it was selling for at one point. It was selling for around $78, which that's literally like $8 below what I was buying for as a wholesaler, like wholesale prices. I personally myself was buying it for around $86. You were buying it for $78. That's absolutely insane. So a lot of times when these reprints happen, you can find some really good pockets right before, of course, the bounce, because as you can see, this price really lasted only a couple of days before it skyrocketed back up. But you can find opportunities to buy it at those cheap prices. Of course, right now you're able to buy it for $90. You know, we take a look and see what eBay is selling Battle Styles for, of course, because I really want to use Battle Styles as an example, because I do think it pertains. You can get Battle Styles booster boxes right now for $84, which is, of course, currently around the same price, just a little bit cheaper than if we were to go on, you know, TCG Player. It's about $6 cheaper. You take a look at what Game Nerds is selling Battle Styles for. We can see that they are selling Battle Styles booster boxes currently for $87, $88. So of course, once again, eBay is beating them. I don't think they have them shown on the site, and as you can see, $93. So you can see that you're able to have a wide array of options. And eBay is competitive, and crazily enough, this is about the 3rd best option. So you're still able to find a lot of the times some of these older booster boxes at pretty decent prices when you're considering the fact of the matter that you're literally buying them at wholesale level prices, guys. So I think that is really crazy to consider. Of course, it's a set like Battle Styles, but Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, those are sets you're able to buy, and those are a lot better sets in my personal opinion than battle styles that you're getting at great prices. So being able to, of course, play the waves, and wrapping up the main point of the video, being able to play the waves and understanding how to get access to these prices on product at a lot cheaper of price if you don't have a distributor is something that's very important. Being able to play wave 1 and then basically right before wave 1 happens, and being able to kind of double down on getting product at lower prices before the hype of the set really takes off. Selling either all of it right before wave 2, 50%, or you can go the route of selling 50% at release date. The other 50% before wave 2, of course, we'll let you know when wave 2 happens by watching our content. We always keep you updated on whenever there are any sorts of rumors or news about reprints. And then lastly, of course, if you do want to double down on the set, you always can on going wave 2 or wave 3. As we saw a little bit with the charts before with battle styles, there was a really quick pace of, wave 2 coming out. There was a really quick pace of wave 3 coming out shortly after with Fusion Strike as well. So it really just depends on kind of what your outlook is. Personally speaking, for myself, I usually like to wait for wave 3, but it'll be different as far as each set goes. But at the end of the day, the real purpose of waiting for wave 2 or waiting for wave 3 is this just taking the money that you made off of playing the first wave, then redoubling down and getting in at a cheaper price in which you think is worth it for yourself. And for someone like myself, if it's one of these things where I'm taking the extra bankroll that I had, I don't have to reinvest everything. I can reinvest a portion, and if it goes up, great, it went up, and I'm going to be able to sell more before wave 3 happens. Or, I'm going to sell more before they decide to reprint it on a 4th wave, because a set like Evolving Skies just absolutely kept pumping to the skies. But of course, at the end of the day, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to be able to calculate and make your own decisions in regards to how you want to play the waves of strategies. But once again, going through the 5 places with an honorable mention: eBay, Game Nerds, Beckett Castle, Safari Zone, myself, and TCG Player, of course, are going to be places you're going to be able to buy these booster boxes for the most part at really good prices. And as we've mentioned before, being able to reinvest in these sealed products, even if they don't hit right away, it's just going to be another business expense that you're able to write off for inventory long term if you do take my advice that I talked about from the first video in regard to registering yourself as a sole proprietor and really making this more than just a side hustle, and being able to use the money that you make off of this to then reinvest it in your own growth as a Pokemon collector. And then that Pokemon collection is going to be able to use to write off on your taxes. So you're not going to be hurt in the long run from investing in Pokemon, from collecting Pokemon. Instead, this is going to be a side hobby for yourself that could really allow you to grow and grow over time. And you're not going to be punished by it each year when you do tend to make money off of it on the side. But as far as it goes, that is the 3rd part of our main 3-part series. Hopefully you guys really like this series. I just thought it would be a fruitful series to really do a breakdown for, because I know a lot of people like asking me questions on how to make money, and I think this is a really good in-depth way of talking about how to properly make money with singles and bulk, how to properly make money with sealed, and understanding the waves, and then really talking about the tax implications of how you could save money. And that's something I feel like a lot of PokeTubers don't really talk about, that kind of stuff a lot. And I can say personally from experience, having run my own business, literally what I do for a living, and this might sound kind of dumb, I have a main business that I run, and then this is my second business where all the money that I make goes back into investing in Pokemon. And since it's just another added business expense that I'm not taking profit on, then I'm just not going to get taxed on the profit of this business until I sell. And so it's basically like I'm investing in an IRA where I'm not going to get taxed until I pull for profit. So it's a really good way of being able to kind of save a lot of money in the long run after you've flipped your product over time and accrued profit that you're just going to bankroll into in growing your collection. But as always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. We post videos each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for you to comment and like on to enter in. And then on top of that as well, we have 3 winners that each will be receiving 8 Brilliant Star booster packs. Once we hit 2,500 subs, it'll go to 12. So 3 opportunities to win, 3 opportunities to enter. So we're always going to be giving away a product to you guys. Can't thank you guys enough so much for the support of the channel. Wouldn't be able to do this without you guys and be able to grow my Pokemon collection and my love for the hobby as well as the channel. So, but thank you guys once again so much for watching. Until then, I will see you guys on Monday. Peace.